Hello, everybody. Hopefully you're having a good Monday. You're listening to Off Track FMX Podcast with your host, myself, Jeffrey Schnee, a.k.a. SMP Jeff, a.k.a. Sister, a.k.a. Sister Sister, a.k.a. The Sister, and my sidekick. He's a great friend. He's the 153 on the track and number one in your hearts. It's Greg Crater, a.k.a. See Ya Later Crater, a.k.a. Gregosaurus. If you don't know who he is, look him up on Google. You got questions or comments, email us at offtrackfmxpodcast@gmail.com.
But enough of this palaver. Let's get the show on the road.
Alrighty, tonight our guest is a guy I've known for a long time. It's been a long time since I've seen him or talked to him, but I've known him for a number of years. His name is Mike TEX Davenport. He was an OG snowboard legend, and he's also pretty much one of the beginning FMX guys too. So, Tex, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. I like your intro to the show, man. This is like
we're trying.
Maybe legit. It sounds like.
How are you tonight, Greg? You're not with me. I'm kind of bummed about that, but the Roners has got us all in a panic state. So,
yeah, we got to work from home.
Yep.
So that's what we're doing. We're telecommuting now.
We're working from home. Cool. So, yeah, Tex, how you doing? How you doing these days? Good, good?
Doing good, man. Just rolling with the changes.
Yeah. Crazy times.
Still riding a little bit. Nothing like I used to do, but
yeah.
You know, I'm still out there riding on the snowboard and the dirt bike.
Nice.
Working a little bit and just getting through this whole deal we're going through right now. So trying to keep it real.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
How young are you these days?
Oh, I think I'm 55.
Nice.
Or 54. I think I'm 54.
Hey.
Yeah.
You're going the right direction.
Like
yep. You're looking good. Looking good. So hey, let's start from the beginning, I guess. So you're 55 now. When did it all start with? And where did it all start? What'd you first start doing? How'd you get into the industries and?
Well, I was, grew up in a small town in Texas called Bonham, Texas, and had a really overprotected mother. That's maybe what brought me out and made me want to charge hard, whatever. But, yeah, would not let me have a dirt bike and, would always get caught on the neighbor's bike, shredding and get in trouble, this, that, and the other. So I asked Mom, hey, how about if I save my money and I can buy my own bike? What about that? And she started laughing. Yeah, sure. If you want to save enough money for a dirt bike, go for it. So I ended up buying 1972 DT Yamaha 125, 175. Okay. I think it ran for a day or two. And we couldn't keep it running. Went back to the BMX bike and jumping ramps, and lo and behold, my mom comes around the corner with a new XL 125, and yeah,
what age was
she
this?
Got me going. What's that?
What age was this? What age were you at this point?
Sophomore in high school.
Okay.
So that would be somewhere like 1980.
Yeah. Okay.
1980.
And you get your first taste of a dirt bike. The XL,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Took all the blinkers off and the tail light, headlight, found some number plates, tried to turn into a dirt bike, bought some, because I broke the shocks, I think, the third day I had the bike, like fully broke the rings that hold the springs on the rear shocks. So a buddy I was riding with, you know, he works on tractors. We were on his farm, actually jumping his truck. And, we put some big washers on there somehow and got that to work again. Then bought some Mulholland shocks for the rear, took the caps off.
Uh-oh. Froze up. Hello.
Still here. I got you.
Text. We lost him. Hello. All righty. Technical difficulties on the show tonight. Oh. Good call. Good call.
And
And I got it ringing back. Ringing back. Come on, Tex. Let's see.
Make them go insane.
not so good.
Connecting. It is not doing what it says. Cancel. Let's try this one more time. It says he's in call. Can you hear us, Tex? Blink once
No.
for yes.
He's not on our call.
It's possible.
He's trying to call you back.
I don't see it. How do you know this?
No, I said maybe.
Oh.
I don't know nothing.
Should we hang up and start over? I mean, just hang up these and let's do that. I'll call you back.
Yep.
And technical difficulties here on the Off Track FMX podcast tonight. Having a few minor difficulties. Nothing your host cannot figure out here. Let's see. Add to group. Let's add this guy. See if... See if this works out. Are you doing a porn over there? It sounds like one of those Cash App like coins going in when someone's typing in like "take your dick out."
Take your shirt off.
Yeah, ding, ding. You making some side hustle over there, Crater, or what's going on?
I wish.
Huh?
I wish. I need a haircut, bro. Look at this shit.
Dude, you're talking to me about a haircut? Oh man.
I'm a professional.
Oh,
wait.
he's back.
Hey,
Hey,
got you.
he's back. There he is.
All right.
Yeah, we lost our internet for a second and had to restart the modem. That's
Oh, no.
how it is
Yeah,
out here in Glacier.
Yeah, out in the woods.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, buddy. No worries. So where were we? What were we talking about? We were talking
We were
about...
talking about fixing shocks on an XL 125.
Yeah.
So, are y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So I took the fork caps off the forks, pulled the springs out, took a hacksaw, found some metal piping, and cut some little spacers. Slid them down in the forks, and then put the fork springs on top of the spacers, and could barely get the caps back on.
Sounds like
And,
an XR50.
Yeah, stiffened up my front end. So yeah.
Sounds like TBT before TBT.
Went from that to an XR, a 79 XR 250 last year, the metal tank,
Oh boy.
and did that for a little bit. And then by about my senior year, I got my first CR 250
Nice.
two-stroke, and that was a 82, I think, something like that. And
That's a real motocross bike all of a sudden. 82. I mean,
Yeah.
you're 12 inches of travel at this point.
yeah.
Did you
And
love
I
it?
was able to. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Yeah, it was.
Where were you
incredible.
riding? Where were you riding at that time?
Still mostly in the backyard,
Okay.
and then there's a track about 30 minutes away,
Mhm.
and rode that a bit.
You're still in
And,
Dallas?
No, more on the Red River, straight up from Dallas.
Okay.
On the border of Texas and Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And and then took that bike up to the sand dunes of Little Sahara, northwest
Nice.
corner of Oklahoma,
Yeah.
and got to
Yeah.
experience the paddle. And I had no handers going at that time, and that was about it. We
Right.
went to a Supercross race, and David Bailey over the finish line did both hands off the bike, and then so we started doing it. And then
Yeah.
we started doing little donkey kicks, with our feet, and we're riding ditches and creek beds on farm property, kind of stuff like that. And so about that time, and then what happened? Then I got a scholarship to play football.
Nice. Where
Went
at?
to a junior college, Cisco, Texas. Really small, another really small place.
That's cool though.
But,
What position were you?
yeah, I was linebacker.
Nice. Yeah, you're a big
Yeah.
dude. I mean,
Yeah. So, yeah, that was good. I didn't get a lot of playing time before almost a junior in sophomore. I sat on the bench for a long time. Coaches hated me. I was like the punk skateboarder with long hair,
yeah.
getting in fights, getting in trouble. And I would go to, the manager's office to get treated, but they were always, injuries from the skateboard, not on the football field. And they figured out that was happening. And my dad, he was a football player. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs for a year.
Oh, wow.
He was heavyweight champion of Texas, Golden Gloves twice.
Wow, nice.
And
Impressive.
I was lucky. I had
Yeah.
great parents.
Yeah, that's
really
awesome.
fortunate. So he told me the whole time, do not quit skateboarding. It gives you balance that none of the other guys have. And I don't care what that coach says, you keep skating.
Yeah.
And then we got a new coach, and I got a chance. And then they moved me straight to varsity. It's like being caged up, sitting on the bench for all those years.
Just ready to go.
So
Right.
I went berserk, dude. Loved to
Just
hit
laying
people.
hat, just dropping the hammer,
Yeah.
smoking fools.
So yeah, did the college thing for a couple of years, but didn't do well in the classroom.
Yeah.
Time to move back home to Texas, and started installing air conditioners and framing houses, stuff like that. And just started seeing everybody going down and doing, drugs a lot, and a lot of meth back in those days, and I was seeing it, and I just didn't want to be a part of it. I didn't want to be a part of that town at the time anymore. And
Just gross.
looking at options, I joined the Navy, of all things,
Oh, wow.
and served on an ammunition ship for 4 years, went on 2 Westpacks, was stationed in San Francisco, had my bikes out there, and all was good. Got to travel the world and just see a lot of places, and learned how to weld and this, that, and the other, firefighter and all this. And then so I was enrolled in the firefighting academy in San Francisco. I was going to be a firefighter. And my dirt bikes, 2 of them got stolen.
Oh, dear.
So now I don't have any bikes, and I'm like, let's go to the mountains. We're close to Tahoe. I haven't skied in years. I only skied a handful of times. Riding up the chair at Boreal with skis on, and it was somebody, like one of the Roach brothers or Noah Slasnick. Somebody did a method right in front of my face while I was on the chair, landed and rode away. And I go, wow, those things do work.
Like, that was the coolest thing
I thought
ever.
yeah. I thought they were a gimmick. I didn't think that they really functioned. And then took a lesson, and it was over. I dropped out of the firefighting academy, never ever went. And when I got out of the Navy, just took off on a road trip through California, Idaho, Wyoming, and then wound up at Mount Baker and ended up staying. And it's been home ever since.
Yeah. What year was that?
I got out in January of 90.
90.
And, yep. And so I was 30-something.
Yeah. Is that when you got the property you have now, or were you somewhere else at that point, just up there?
Yeah, I was living at the lodge, and
Okay.
just what was I doing? Bussing tables and cleaning bathrooms.
And snowboarding a
shoveling
ton.
snow, Yeah, and snowboarding a lot.
Yeah.
So is that when you started snowboarding?
Yeah, 1990. I was like,
Okay.
well, it's like 26. I went in when I was 26, so I was 30 when I got out. I was like 30 years old. About 28 when I saw my first snowboard, I believe. And that was it. Everything revolved around that.
You were hooked.
And yeah, I think it was the third year. I was about halfway through the third year I was up there, was hiking in the backcountry, and ran into Craig Kelly and Dan Donnelly, Sean Farmer, Jimmy Holopoff, and I knew they were like famous snowboarders from the magazine.
Yeah, those are big names.
So I just, yeah. So I just started tagging along like behind them to watch their photo shoot. And I'd already been hiking all day, so I was pretty spent, but I'm like, man, I got to see this stuff, and finally got up to the top of the hill, and Dan was like, who are you? And why are you following us? I'm like, well, my name's Mike, and I moved here from Texas, and I'm trying to learn how to snowboard. And I think you are guys I seen in the magazines. Dano's like, well, you don't mind if we call you Tex, do you? I go, no, you can roll that if you want.
Yeah.
And then that was the day it happened. And they took me under their wing and talked me into going to Valdez, Alaska to enter the first World Extreme Snowboard Contest.
Okay.
And yeah, I pulled what money together I had and ended up riding the same plane with Sean Farmer and Nick Parada. And did a couple of photo shoots before the contest. And so now it's contest time. It was on 3 mountains that had never been ridden before.
Wolf.
And 2 runs a day for 3 days, 3 different mountains.
And how steep are these mountains?
Yeah. And all helicopter access.
Yeah, no chairlifts, no T-bars. You're getting helied in.
No T-bars.
Good old rope tow, nothing?
Right.
No.
Just a helicopter and dropping you off. There's no other way to get down.
They had the helicopter, and they had an airplane, and they had a snowcat.
Oh, boy.
And then you bought poker chips, and like the red one was the most valuable one, and it would get you like on the helicopter and to a run close by. If you want to do runs further away, you needed 2 poker chips. And then I think the green ones were for the airplane, and then the yellow ones were for the cat. So you had all these poker chips.
How'd you earn these poker chips, or how'd you get these poker chips?
Well, you had to go buy them.
Oh, nice.
So you go to the office and buy your poker chips and go play on what machine you wanted to play on.
Figure out
what
you can do, how much money you got, and what you can do, make the most of it.
Yeah, but it was so crazy because it was a Bell Ranger, which isn't a real powerful helicopter. Like, all of the loads were overloaded.
Oh, dear. Sketchy.
The pilot, Chet, the pilot, Chet, he was a Vietnam pilot back in the day, and he crashed a couple of helis.
Oh, dear.
And, and he would have, like, Vietnam flashbacks every once in a while.
Oh, dear.
It'd be like it'd be scary. I'd be like, Chet, it's time to go.
They're doing some avalanche control, and this guy's fucking losing his shit.
He's like, no, Charlie's out there.
Yeah, it's
I go,
Charlie.
No, there's no Charlie out there, bro. It's time to fly, though. You got to get in the heli, dude. There's people waiting.
Get us up to the top. I got my poker chips in.
That's it. And he would fly around and shoot his gun out the window while we're flying.
Up in Alaska, just nice.
He called it avalanche control.
Yeah. You gotta love Alaska. I mean, it's kind of the fucking Wild West, eh?
Yeah.
It really was. So there's one helicopter and then all these people, and he's just shuttling them to all these different parts of the mountain range.
Is he ever checking fuel or fucking mechanically seeing how, or is he just making runs back and forth, hoping for the best?
Yeah, and then you're just hoping he makes it back for a pickup, kind of thing. We had no guides, no one's digging pits, nothing.
Well, nobody had done any of that before, really, right? You guys were kind of it wasn't around before you guys.
You guys even have radios at this point?
We had radios. I had a really old transceiver that I got from George Dovis at the Mount Baker Snowboard Shop. And I think when I got there, someone gave me a more updated one. And we went out and practiced finding the transceivers and digging them up and doing that thing a little bit. But I remember the avalanche guys and the rescue guys, coming to check it out, and they were digging pits and this and that. And one of them got too close to a cornice, and it broke off on the diamond, and it slid. The whole mountain slid. We had to call the contest off for that
wow.
one day.
Oh.
And just crazy stuff like that. It came down right in front of the judge's booth and hung right with the flow of the terrain.
Who were the judges, at this point?
This would have been the second year, and I had a broken ankle, so I wasn't competing. So I was a judge, and Craig, Kelly, Dan Donnelly, Tom Burt, and Jim Zellers. We were the judges at that point in time.
All right.
And then Matt Goodwill won the second one.
Goodwill.
And the third one.
Oh.
And I just got to see him about a month ago. We went to Coos Bay sand dunes together.
I think I saw some of those pictures on Instagram. You guys got to ride some dirt bikes and do some camping and stuff. That looks really fun.
Yeah. We took the new truck and got our dirt bikes out, and he was just going through a heartbreak with his girlfriend left him or something or other, so I had to drag him out of the house and
that's good.
Take him to the dunes and get him some fresh air. And
that was good of you, buddy. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
I don't even have that going. I could use that right now.
Yeah, I'm ready to go back. I love that place.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, Goodwill's a good guy. I like him. He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's
been around a long time too. Yeah,
such a badass. There's
snowboard and rider, but dirt bike rider. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. He's always been really fast on the track.
Yeah. He didn't really do as much FMX stuff, but he was always always good on track, and he was a legit OG snowboarder. Obviously, he won the second year of the Valdez World.
So the World Extreme Snowboard Championships, he took that, and then the third year they called it King of the Hill.
Could you have beat him if your ankle wasn't broke?
No.
No, he was riding good, huh?
No. He grew up skiing or snowboarding with skiers, and they were gnarly, crazy skiers that went incredibly huge.
Yeah.
And he did the same. That's
he had to keep
how
up
he grew
with.
up.
Yeah.
He was younger, a little more time under the belt. I'm kind of just lucky to get in there when I did, and there was that platform to go jump off cliffs and ride POW. But he's good.
Yeah. So what year was that? What year was we're at the second year of
93 was the first one.
Okay, so probably 94-ish, 95, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
What were you doing then? Just snowboard contest, traveling?
Well, I wasn't doing any. I was still working at the mountain.
Okay.
I was running the employees lodge, and then made it on this trip and ended up winning that contest. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I got all these opportunities to film with Standard Films and Adventure Scope, and Craig, told my sponsors to give me a lot of money because he was taking me snowboarding and filming, and and then every year I produced footage that was worthy and usable, so every year it got a little better.
Yeah,
in the snowboarding world.
Yeah. Who were some of your first sponsors for that?
My first snowboard sponsor was K2.
Nice.
And so I was on board with Farm and Parada, Adam Merriman, Dano, Morgan LaFont was with us, and a couple other notables too. Kevin Young was with us. I had a really good team.
Yeah.
I'm leaving a couple of people out. I'm trying to remember who they are. But, I went from those guys to a kind of a off-brand called Generics out of Germany. They paid us a lot of money.
That's always nice. How was the equipment? Was it decent? How was the equipment with that company? I mean, good paycheck, but did the equipment suffer, or was it still decent? Or
Yeah, it was real good, actually.
Oh, nice. There you go.
They made what we wanted. They made big boards. We were all in the big boards back then, so we could stomp our landings easier and get the film.
Yep.
The film shot. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not the boards. A lot of times it's not the boards that we would ride in the ski area. They were way too big.
Right. But
you're kind of more to point it through rubbish or to stomp bigger jumps. And I think they helped quite a bit. And, technology's changed so much now. You can ride shorter boards for sure.
Sure.
But that was the way back then. Alaska, I rode a 185 Glissade, so got hooked up with Glissade for a few years. And even when I went to Airwalk, I would get Glissade to build my boards for me, and they'd put an Airwalk logo on there for me.
Sweet.
So I think the biggest board they made back then was a 69. I was still wanting to run like 75s and 185s and stuff.
Right.
So, yeah. And then through all that, this and the other, the dirt biking. So then we get back in the dirt biking.
Okay.
Because of the Crusty Demons.
Yep.
Right. They made those other movies. Their snowboard movies first.
Yeah, it was
Creatures of Habit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that was Dana.
With Dana. I just saw him not too long ago, actually, and he's doing good too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when did you first hook up with him?
Well, me and Jeff Fulton was hiking. No, we were on snowmobiles that you rent at Mammoth Mountain. I think it was Billy Bob's snowmobile rental or something. And you get the snowboard, fish, and sit in a natural hot tub, all from the same snowmobile trip.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
So we did all that.
And then
fun. we see some guys building a kicker, and it's Dana and Bubba and Seth Inslow and Damian Sanders and Zabo and a couple other guys. I can't really remember who. So I've always looked up to Damian, and actually that's how I met him, out riding. They were on the same snowmobile rental program, and Damian built this giant quarter pipe hit, and got to session it with them, and we threw Seth off a cliff, and this is our.
I was just saying, did Seth ride a snowboard? Was he decent?
No,
he was on the snowmobile.
He could go fast and barely make it to the kicker, and would just get ejected. Like if you look at the very last movie those guys made, like me and Fulton's in there with Zavo and Damien on that quarter pipe, and then there's four of us just throwing Seth off a cliff like a lawn dart. And he landed right on his head, and like not very good snow either.
Oh dear.
And I go, this guy's a nut. I go, you should see him on the dirt bike. And then
you're like I don't know if I should.
Yeah. So it wasn't soon after that Krusty 1 came out. And I go, wow. And then I'm like, wow, okay, that guy is crazy. That was the big crash and Krusty
landing on those people. Yeah.
No, that was later. The one where he just steered it off into the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Just like
his wheel up.
I mean, OJ kind of not over. That dune was huge, but yeah, he landed. It's deep in the pocket.
Yeah. That was the one that put him on the map and started his career.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much put freestyle motocross on the map too.
He's got a lot of them. He's got a lot of big ones that are just. I don't know if they're good or bad, but I mean, he's got a lot of big ones.
Yeah. So that's how I met those guys, and then I'm watching the Krusty movies, and I go, I can do a 1-footer and a no-hander. I used to ride dirt bikes back in the day, and a whole bunch of snowboarders just started buying dirt bikes, and then they started having the crossover race, and Morrow put on an event there in Albany. I don't know if you ever made it to that one. There was they had a snowboarder class that you could race against your buddies in, and they had a pro motocross class, and Metzger was there, and Feist and Kerry Hart was there, and Farmer was there. and he was on stage being farmer. And it was awesome. It was epic. And there's a write-up in a couple of the magazines about it all, but they said the best highlight of the whole event was me and Jamie Lynn having our race battle. And
nice.
So I'm in third, sort of by myself, and I keep hearing a bike behind me, so I'd pick up my pace a little bit and wouldn't hear anything. And on the next lap, I'd hear another bike behind me, so I'd go a little faster, and then he'd be gone. Like for 3 laps this happened. So now it's like 5th lap, whatever. I'm going for the finish line, about to get a 3rd place trophy, and here comes Jamie Lynn, wide open. So I'm hitting the finish line tabletop at the speed where you hit the landing, and he hits it wide open, passes me by a wheel over the finish line, and I'm one-handed with one hand off the bike going, what the heck, dude? And I land, and he just keeps going, dude. He's still in the air. Lands the flat, and there's a corner coming up, so he lays it down and takes out like 4 or 5 people with the bike, stands up on the corner and lifts both of his hands over his head and claims my 3rd place trophy from me. But
I've been one of those 4 or 5 guys before.
Every time. What's that?
I said I've been one of those 4 or 5 guys before.
Yeah.
Some guy in Montana smoked me with a dirt bike. It was like 3rd gear, and the bike was straight up and down, and it hit me like in the head, like the bottom of the bike.
He was wide open, looping out, and Jeff was bent over, packing my gate on the start. And the bike pounded him like a bull.
Dude, it smoked me. Oh my God. I thought I didn't know what happened.
You didn't think anything.
I didn't know if Mike Tyson showed up and fucking got mad at me. I didn't know what happened, but it was brutal.
That was a bad one.
Anyways, okay, so go ahead, Jamie.
So what was happening while I kept hearing a bike behind me? It was Jamie catching up to me real fast. Then he would just crash and ragdoll, pick up the bike, restart it, and catch me again, and then ragdoll again. And 3 times he picked up the bike and caught me for the win for third.
Anyways, yeah. But, that's hilarious.
Where was that? At Salem, you said?
That was in Albany. You remember that Supercross?
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
Yeah,
on the side of the road on I-5.
Yeah.
Dude,
that track was awesome.
Oh, it's not indoor, is it?
No, that's Salem's indoor. That's why Albany's outdoor. It's right on the side of I-5.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out the place me and you went, Crater. I don't know if it's Salem. It had like those ski lift chairs in the parking lot. You said that's not Salem, but I don't know where. It was somewhere in Oregon. I was with you. It was an arena cross.
Oh, that might have been Salem, because that's at the fairgrounds.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, they had it might have just been the like gondola thing across the fairgrounds.
All right. Okay, so we're in what year now? What year is it? 90.
Oh shoot. Oh, we have to be at that point. I think I had an aluminum frame by then, so around 2000.
That's 97 first aluminum frame.
97 and aluminum? I got a 98. And so it was somewhere around there, and then I got a 2000, and I still have my 02.
When did you start taping with Fox, or when did you get hooked up with Fox, or when did that? Because you were a big part of that whole program too.
Yeah, I made it into 4 of their movies.
Yeah, which was the first one?
4, 5, and 6, and the best and the greatest hits.
Okay, so I was supposed to, I claim, I was supposed to be in Terra Firma 6 with yourself and a few other people, and I think you guys were riding at Mitch Merritt's house first, and I showed up at Mitch's house, and you guys were just, like, packing it up or whatever, so then we go to this, like, rock quarry pit thing, and everybody else is kind of already ridden, so we get there, and I had to gear up and stuff, and Brian started hitting it, and then you hit it, and you hit it a couple times, and then you just, bash. And the ambulance came, we had to take you to the hospital, and I was just about to start riding. I'm like, the one time I was going to be in a movie. TEX crashed. God damn it. I think you might have done your shoulder or something.
That place.
Yeah,
that was on the side of the highway.
On the side of the highway. Yeah. I don't know whose it was.
Yeah.
It might have been Downing's dad's or something, or I don't know whose property it was, but yeah, there was just like a big
construction site.
Yeah. It was just a big mound of dirt, like a big construction. Yeah, like a gravel pit thing. Yeah.
So the kids running the equipment at that spot motoed also. So every day the dirt pile was different, and they put a different kicker on it and a different.
That's like every moto guy's dream come true.
Yes, it was. Yeah. I was doing a no-footed can and coming back, I got my toe stuck on the tank.
Yep.
And then went over the bars because there wasn't much of a tranny. You had to land and then do a wheelie onto the flats.
Yeah.
There wasn't much of a tranny.
And was that, were you riding 500s then? You always liked the 500s too.
I did get a 500 for the sand dunes.
Yeah.
I wished I still had it now for that, or like a snow bike. Those make good snow bike.
Yeah. So what year did you get your property that you had the jumps on and stuff? What year was that? That was before
98.
Yeah. I was gonna say that was a little bit, because I remember when it was first getting built, me and Binkley would come up there all the time, and like Ben and maybe Jesse Mack and.
Yeah. So Binkley actually formed the first takeoff for the step up.
Yeah.
He's good on equipment.
For sure.
He just made it perfect. Yeah. So I got shots of him full moto gear in the excavator shaping that takeoff.
Yeah.
And I just watched footage of it the other day because I'm going through all that old footage looking at stuff. But over the years, every time we reshaped it, it got closer to the landing. Yeah. So it got steeper. It got steeper and closer. And it's fun too going that way. It's fine. You get more height, and it's like so easy to whip because if it was any more closer to vert, you probably wouldn't even make it to the tranny.
Yeah. Like just straight up and straight back.
Sean Palmer, right when we redid it the last time, he was coming up for bank slalom, and he saw my backyard from the highway. And he had ropes with him. And they just pulled a U-turn, and I come home, and they're all standing on my hill. And I'm like, wow, good to see you guys. It's been a while.
Welcome.
Yeah. He was like, are you sure this thing works? It looks kind of steep. But yeah, it worked.
Oh, that's awesome. Fine. Yeah, that property's that's a fun place. It's been a long time since I've been out there, but it was a good time back in the day.
Yeah, it's still here. We still ride it. We make changes to it and bring in dirt and add stuff. And there's a ramp and a ramp landing. And
nice. We might have to get up there one of these days.
Yeah.
Crater's good on ramps.
Sure. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see Jeff hit it.
Dude, I'll hit it. I ain't scared. Come on.
Yeah, you'll hit it for sure.
Who are you talking to? Hey, do you remember this guy? Hang on, let's see. Where is he? That little handsome devil? Who's that guy?
Yeah, that's a good-looking dude. I wonder what happened.
I don't know.
I wonder what happened.
Yeah.
I think there's a cast. Isn't there a cast on my leg or something?
Is there? I don't know. Maybe I think it was you had baggies on. You can't really see. You got the bags.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I got a broken leg.
Yeah, broken foot and leg or something.
That shot or another one that I got to be in the catalog with those guys.
Yeah.
I broke it from that Anaheim race.
Oh, yeah, that's something we have to talk about. So so that was a crossover event that happened, you said 5 times maybe in whatever 2000, somewhere around there. But it was during the actual Supercross series. I was with Binkley, and Tex was down there, and like I said, I think Vanilla Ice rode them, and who else was in it? I don't remember a lot of the people.
Yeah, the Vanilla Ice one, that would be the second one. And they had that in San Diego. The first one was at Anaheim.
Okay.
And Sonny Garcia was there.
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, he always did them.
Yeah, and I want to think Jim Rippey was there, and maybe the Roach Brothers and Noah.
I remember there was definitely some separation on the track. There's only
a couple guys that can even really.
Yeah, I mean it's a legit Supercross track. I mean
they made us ride 125s.
For every one of them.
Bone stock Suzuki 125. I don't know how
that's
to ride
right.
that.
Suzuki sponsored it, and that's right. Oh, brutal. Yeah.
The first year we got to ride our bikes, which is fine. You could pick off a couple of doubles, but
right.
wow, that gives you respect for Supercross riders because it is so gnarly.
Yeah.
That we could only do a couple of the jumps.
I don't want to disparage Suzuki, but wow, those bikes are pieces of shit.
Yeah. So I was kind of I was goon riding, revving it up and acting like a goon, which I was close to being naturally anyways.
Stop it.
But I made sure everyone's out of the way, and I ghost rode my 125 over the finish line jump.
Yes.
But no one saw it except for one flagger, and he was really stoked. And it hit the tranny perfect and just rode off a little ways and fell over. Like, it wasn't as cool as I was hoping it would be. But,
hey,
didn't have the same effect as when Deegan did it?
Yeah.
No, not quite.
Not quite. Oh, that's great. Yeah. So you did what? You did 5 of those, or did you get hurt? You got hurt in one of them, you said?
Just the first one, the very first one. Then there's Anaheim, then there's San Diego, and then we got to do Washougal, and we also got to do the opener at Hangtown one year.
Oh, fun.
And like Washougal, I feel like Goodwill always was there.
Yeah. All the boys were there at that last one.
Yeah.
Noah was still around, the Roach Brothers, AV, Aaron Benson.
There'd be 30 guys. I mean, they had a fair number.
Yeah.
That's the outdoor ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, outdoors is a little better. Supercross is sketchy.
Supercross might have scared some guys off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Roll. Gives you a lot of respect.
It's
for
asking
those guys.
a lot of people to try to go on a Supercross track and ride it.
Yeah.
Steep
well,
order.
I'm sorry, but soft, like bone stock suspension.
And even a 120, I mean,
that you've never ridden, like that's not ideal.
Tex was always kind of a bigger dude too. I mean, you can't put the guy on 125 on a Supercross track and expect miracles. I mean, what do you?
It was unsafe.
Yeah, unsafe. Yeah, trying to kill
I don't want to ride a 125 around a Supercross track, and I was racing it. Like,
yeah, exactly. You were getting paid to race Supercross, and nope,
right?
Not happening.
Yeah, 125. I'll stay home. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul Connor was stupid enough to do it a couple of years.
Yeah, PC did it.
Yeah.
So Greg, you rode Supercross for a few years, didn't you?
Yeah, I think, man, we talked about this once. I rode 04. I did all the West Coast stuff for a few years, and then I think 07 I did them all. And then, I did my last one. I made my last night show in 2016, so I did it for a long time. 12 years, 13 years of racing.
Much respect in that department.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
He tried to hold off for a real job as long as he could. He's like, I am not going to work as long as I can.
That's it.
I'm going to ride this dumb dirt bike till the wheels fall off.
And then Binkley called and tried to make me be a construction worker, and it
lasted a day or two.
I didn't have that in me, apparently.
Yeah.
Just getting up at 4 a.m. to go to work was the problem.
He went out and got a real estate license real quick after that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not in a hurry to keep getting up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then worked for Billy's old man. He was a little hard on us.
Yeah, weird.
No lunch break. Like, come on, dude, I got to eat. I just want a lunch break. That's all I want.
Nope.
I know.
Not in the contract, bro.
I know it. I did a bunch of it for sure. Yeah.
Oh man, so you rode the when did you get hooked up with Fox? Because you were a big part of the early Fox stuff and the shift.
Yeah.
The shift was just kind of coming.
Yeah. So how that happened was John Fox approached the Hatchets, who were making standard film snowboard movies.
Yeah.
And liked their style with how they put together a movie, and asked them if they would do the next Terra Firma movie. And he asked me if he thought he should do it. And I am like, yeah, man, you should do it for sure. And he asked me if I would help him,
Yep.
So I would run my camera behind the scenes, just a regular video camera, and get a bunch of that kind of stuff. And they would run the film cameras. And that's how I met Sink Mars and Brian McGavran and Dusty Walter.
McGavran's a name we don't hear very often. That guy was super fun to watch ride.
Yeah. He was a good kid, fun to be around. and Spud Walters. Remember that guy?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a four-stroke national guy.
Yeah. Four-stroke champion, I believe.
Many
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
He did it when it was still like XR 400s with.
I think Binkley was doing it back then
heavy
too.
Gigs.
Yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah. Those bikes were terrible to start. I know that.
Yeah.
They're like a compression release and
And then at that Albany race, we talked Metzger and Feist and Kerry Hart into coming to Washington to film for the Terra Firma thing, and we all stayed at Goodwill's house, and we rode tracks like at Binkley's place and other places, just around the neighborhood, around Goodwill's place. And so I got to know those guys real well and spend time with those guys, and that was super cool. You know, they were just starting their whole freestyle thing.
Yeah, it was the birth. That was kind of the first part. I mean, yeah, it was really a young sport at that time, and like the tricks were so basic at that time. It's evolved crazy fast and crazy. Levels like, yeah, I can't even imagine the kids are doing these days, but. Yeah, I remember being able to do a couple tricks. Can. Crater's seen it. Yeah. Got about 1 million pictures of it. It's pretty impressive.
Did you have another trick?
I had a couple. I could kind of do a little Cordova. Just some basic.
Oh, sure. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
Whatever. Yeah. So right around 2000 was the first ever TEX Games.
Correct.
What prompted you to put this wild event on? I was there. I believe. I believe I got knocked out that night by some asshole. Look at this, Tex.
Oh yeah.
The
awesome.
The VHS, baby.
That's it.
So what prompted this?
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was a wild time from what I remember.
Yeah.
The parts I remember.
I was on my way back from California after going to the first X Games that had freestyle moto there on the water in San Francisco.
Yep.
And then I'm coming back with a broken hip. I broke my hip down there.
Ouch.
And, so I'm just kind of sitting around and talking about the X Games, and Mike Rinkwit was actually over at the house, and he goes, "Dude, you should have a TEX Games instead of an X Games, and we could do this and we could do that." And then we just started talking. Yeah, dude, we could do truck tug of wars and boxing, and we could get, some of the militia guys here and get Krusty here and just
throw a party.
Just talking smack. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people out of nowhere started calling me and go, "We want to sponsor your event that you're having."
They're like, "We're on board."
What event? What are you talking about? Yeah, you're having a TEX Games, right? I'm like, yeah, we're doing that. Yeah.
How much money are you giving me?
And just more,
yep, we're doing it.
more came in and started writing proposals and stuff and winging it hard, and made it all happen.
Yeah, because you got some city permission and stuff from that too. Because I think at one point the officials showed up, the FBI maybe, and the.
Yeah, at one point there was the sheriff, the liquor board, the border patrol, like the fire chief, this, that, and the other. And I had all my paperwork, liquor license and party permit and all this. And there's shots in that video I think you have, because when they showed up, it was right in the middle of the wet T-shirt contest.
Nice. Yeah.
And they didn't want to stop anything. Yeah. They were all sitting there with their jaws dropped, just watching.
Proceed.
Yeah. So we had to move some of the cars on the back road because there wasn't enough room for ambulance to get in and out or what. We got sponsored by the ambulance company too. They just worked for T-shirts and hats, and we'll do it. So
yeah, obviously they have to be there too. You had a freestyle show. We had
boxing,
tough the tug of war, the wet T-shirt, a bunch of bands. And the boxing was a legit. It was
20 bands in 2 days.
The boxing ring was a legit boxing ring, right? Like it was.
No, we made it out of wood, and at one point we had to stop one of the fights and put the ropes back up.
Oh,
like
really?
The corner had broken, and that made for the best fight of the whole night. It kind of gave those guys a chance to catch their breath. And that particular fight started in the crowd, and they were fighting in the crowd, so they got pushed up to the ring. The whole crowd was chanting, "Take it to the ring, take it to the ring," kind of deal. And,
okay, well, see, this could have had something to do with me. There was a guy in the ring that I had gotten to your place either the day before or maybe early that morning or something, and I'd been drinking heavily, so I'm hanging out, whatever. I was there for a long time, whatever. So I'm standing there, and this guy was in the boxing ring, and he's like, "I want to box you." I'm like, "Me? What the fuck are you, like, why me? What the fuck are you talking?" I'm like, "I don't want to, I'm hammered, like, I'm good, whatever, I'm cool. I ain't here to box, like, you're good." And the guy kept talking shit. Well, my buddy Matt Walker was next to me, and Matt's like, "He don't want to box you, but I'll fucking box. I'll come up there and box you." Like, so they got into it. Yeah, it was a big deal. And then something in the crowd erupted, and I got knocked by someone. I don't know if it was his buddy or and that's when it blew up in the crowd, and it was a wild.
How did Matt's fight go?
I don't remember that. Matt's a pretty tough big dude, so and I don't know who the other guy even was. I'd never seen him before. I don't know. I remember the Banditos were security, and I knew, a lot of, Mitch's dad, and all the Banditos are cool. So that was an awesome event.
We had a ghost ride contest also.
That's right.
That was pretty good.
And then
we had a skate ramp, and then we had a BMX kicker. And
I gotta fire up this movie and watch it again. Watch me some TEX Games 2000. Should have done it before the interview, but hey, I suck.
So Darren Bearcloth was there also as a drawman on a BMX bike. So that very first Frequency magazine on the middle page is him higher than my barn, all tabletoped out. So there were some.
I've got this magazine too from way back in the day. Whoops, let's see. We gotta go this way.
Pull it back.
I was just looking at that the other day.
And then it's got like a big cool segment in here on your property too, kind of from the I don't know if it was from that event but it's got some good shots from. See, if Crater was here, he'd be able to just look at this. You already know what it looks like. It's pretty cool, though. Yeah. You were getting pretty good. You were getting pretty good publicity back in the day for what you were doing. You were right in the mix. Were you getting paid good from these companies? Were they hooking you up, or like Fox?
Yeah. Well, Fox just gave me so much product.
Just ridiculous amounts.
It was way epic. Yeah, and then got a couple of cover shots. On a couple of snowboard magazines, and then just there's a few dirt bike magazines, freestyle magazines back in the day, like Wide Open and
I have some of those Wide Open magazines.
So a few shots in there, and a little bit here and there, a couple of covers on VHS tapes.
Hey, that's what it was back in the days. It's crazy how much the world has changed. I remember when we were at Supercon, like, I think telephones were kind of rare, you had to buy cellular time or something. Like, it was, because I remember you were with a chick, and like, I think you were using her phone. I don't remember. I think I have it on video somewhere, like one of the old camcorders, Yeah, I have a lot of footage from riding up at your property, too. It's crazy. With Skylar and Binkley and, the whole crew.
Yeah.
It was good times for sure.
Yeah, still are. I still got people coming over riding.
Like I said, we might have to make our way up there one of these years, one of these weekends.
Yeah.
Come check the place out again.
Yeah, that'd be good to get you up here.
Bring Binkley up there, see what he's doing. Get him out of the house. He's still riding a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a couple.
Tell him to bring his excavator.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right? Bring some equipment. Good.
We need some work.
He sold it all. He's a county guy now.
Oh, that's right.
He works for Snohomish County or something.
Everett or something. Yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, what was next in the You did. So
Well,
that was
after TEX games.
after 2000. Well, he had multiple. Did you have it every?
Right.
Did you have 2001, 2000? Because I've been to a couple. One was in Omak. One was there one in Vegas or one in?
One in Reno.
Reno.
So I went my backyard. Next year was Omak. Went from Omak to Reno to doing 2 in Texas, and then I took a bunch of years off. I don't even know how many. Then like about, I don't know, 5 years ago, we did a small one in the backyard.
Okay.
Nice.
Didn't advertise it, all word of mouth, but had an actual freestyle motocross event put on by these guys from back home that travel around and do a little, you could enter. It would be like going to a motocross race, but you go to enter
the local. It's the local track, local place. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, it was like a beginner class and then like a more advanced class, I think is how it worked. And someone else ran all that, and I just grabbed like a band and we did truck tug of wars. And
cool.
And then I had to shuttle, take everyone to the bar. I had shuttle buses. I had to so everyone had to leave. It was a one night stand.
That's
not
awesome.
3 days.
Smart. Yeah, smart.
Not 3 days.
Good call. Good call. Everybody, you can come, but you got to go. You got to get out. We'd love to have you, but you got to leave.
That's it. But the first one, Krusty was there. They brought a limo, and Bubba and Seth were there. And
Seth was at the second one, too. Seth did a distance jump, I think, in Omak or something or he jumped pretty far. I don't know, at that time, 200 feet, 175 feet. I don't know what it was, but, I mean, it was a big jump. Even to this day, that's a big jump.
Yeah, that was a 200-footer. We started like $1.50, and then started moving the ramp back for about 3 or 4 jumps. And the last one, the 200-footer, he cased it, and then it was dirt that they use in the rodeo arena that was in this guy's ranch down the road.
Okay.
So for 2 weeks, we shuttled dump trucks in and made that landing for Seth like he wanted, like a 50-foot safety deck, then 150 feet of
Run
landing.
Out. Yeah,
I mean, it was huge. Yeah.
Tapered
that soft dirt. Yeah. That soft dirt saved him because he cased the heck out of it and bounced over the 50-foot safety deck, landed way at the bottom of the train. He almost flew over all the landing and then swapped ends, and there's a gate you got to go through after all that. And he pulled it together and did not crash. And the show went on. That's when we started doing the whole full-blown rodeo. We had like full-blown everything. Every event that you see at a rodeo, we had there also. Because those are the original extreme guys when you stop and think about it.
Yep.
You want to know the event I saw in Omak?
What's that?
Drunkest person I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, don't go stereotyping it, but it was an Indian. They have a lot of Indians over there. And this guy, we woke up, we were camping. So I don't even remember, but it was a bunch of us camping or whatever. And we woke up in the morning, and this guy's like dead in the middle of our campsite. I mean, like we were trying to wake, like, hey, buddy, wake up, like pouring water on him. Like we had to call the ambulance, and they're like, yeah, he was known in the town. And I guess like when we when we get drunk and hammered, pass out at, 2:00, and that's when he starts going. He goes around and drinks everybody's old beers or old whatever's around and just gets hammered. So this guy, he was just the drunkest I've ever seen I thought he was dead, like legit dead. Yeah. It was scary. Yeah, I was like, and the ambulance came, they're like, oh yeah, it's, Ron. I'm like, oh fuck, Ron, what are you doing? Get your life together. This is not the way to live, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was in Omak. Yeah, that was a crazy time.
Omak.
Yeah, I saw the police report from Omak, and seriously, every 15, 20 minutes there was a call. There's a horse in my yard. There's some drunk guy on my porch. Someone stole my car. Just on.
Did they not welcome you back, or did you just not want to go back to Omak?
No, they begged to have us back. The whole time we were there for so long setting up, and then all the money we poured into that town. They
probably had to be good revenue for them.
It's the most money they ever made, I think, or something.
Yeah, between that and the Omak Stampede, which they have every year, so that's kind of it probably doesn't. Yeah, that was a big thing for that town, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's how I found out about it. George Dobus wanted to go to Omak and see the Stampede because it had been shut down for years. And the Indians got the right to do it back. You know, the animal activists were throwing in their 2 cents. And, You know, Indians are dying and horses are dying in that thing. That is one of the gnarliest things I've ever seen. But
dude, it is.
George is wanting to go. And we sit in the snowboard shop and drink beer till we're about to beat each other up because we're like almost like father son kind of deal. But I go, how is that going to work? I go, how are we going to survive together in the same truck for that long? He goes, Mickey, you just smoke your doobie and I will drink the beer and everything will be fine. Czechoslovakian accent.
I love it.
And it was, he ran a camera for me down below and I got the shot up top with the Indians running the horses down into the river. And then I'm looking at the place, and here's a rodeo arena on the river. There's a skate park already here, RV hookups. I go, we're doing the next Sex Games here. And I just decided I want to drive
at that moment,
take about 3 months to set it all up, and it was one of the greatest times of my life. Awesome. Yeah,
it was fun. I remember that was a good one. I was there for sure. Man, I was just going to say something.
So real quick, random TEX games tie together, because I never went to a TEX games. I always heard about it.
You missed out. Greg's a little younger.
What?
I said you're a little younger. How old are you? You would have been, how old were you in 2000? You'd have been too young to come, boy.
2000, I was 16 years old.
Yeah, you'd have been a youngin'. You little young pup there.
Would have had to sneak under the fence like the rest of the youngins.
Yeah.
Right. But, so I want to say it was like 2008, 9, 10 kind of era. Okay. And there was this dude shows up to the Salt Lake City Supercross in a yellow box van that had been obviously at some point been to TEX games because it had TEX games like 05 or something, like spray painted on the back door.
Yeah, I remember that guy. I think it said TEX games or bust or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
but
and like
I've got lots of pictures of that.
And Billy was with us, and he was the one that noticed it. I feel like maybe, but
Robbie King.
Yeah, it was funny. It had been there a long time, and ain't nobody scrubbed it off. I mean, it'd been there 7 years probably by the time it was at that race.
What was the guy's name, Tex? You know?
Yeah, Robbie King.
It was King. It was the same dude.
Robbie King.
Did he race?
He was trying to do He was trying to do a 360 off the metal ramp and was just wadding up so hard. But my hat's off to him for trying, you know?
Amen. Yeah. Got to respect it.
He was a wild man on the Supercross track, though.
Yeah.
Really, I didn't like being near him if I didn't need to be.
He was on the Supercross track?
Yeah, he raced. He was racing 450
nice.
Supercross.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
this would have been, I feel like he might have been part of the Supercross the movie crew when we all stayed at Vegas that year.
Yeah.
He might have been there for that.
Crater helped make that #1 box office thriller.
Box office blow up.
Yeah, stop it. Hey, Tex, so in 2000, I think for that the first TEX games, there was a guy there also, Ian Pavlak. That dude was pretty awesome. Yeah. How'd you meet him and where? Because he was a Canadian guy that was with Fox too, I assume. But he was always around you, and I was friends with him too. He's a good dude. Yeah.
I met him when we went up there for Terra Firma and stayed at that famous Canadian off-road.
Yeah, what's his name?
Racer Guy Perret.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Guy Perret. Yeah. So that was
my favorite Terra Firma scenes ever. That guy was crazy.
Yeah. So it was epic. So we got to stay. He had a bed and breakfast up above his house that his mom runs.
Okay.
And she makes incredible food.
Nice.
We had a helicopter there, a helipad, and then a shop. And then he had a whole bunch of KTMs that you could ride because they gave them to him so that customers could ride them, and be stoked on them,
demo
whatever.
them, yeah.
But people, Yeah, people would fly in with just their riding gear and get to ride all these different KTMs.
And he had a cool riding facility. A lot of places to ride up there, yeah.
Oh, dude, you can look at the footage. He had those trails in the backyard, and then that quarry where we're jumping off the top and landing in those runnels. And then the first year he was bottoming out so hard, and then he put a tranny on there the next year, and got to do that. And then all the Canadian girls were hanging with us and bringing food for us and throwing pool parties for us when we got done riding. And dude, they just straight up rolled out the red carpet for us at Guy Perret's house. And that's how I met Ian at that Sugarloaf Ranch, where it's all just green landings and you push up a cheese wedge, and then that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I got to go there with Sink Mars also. We got to be pretty tight, me and that guy.
Yeah, for sure. And were you out, remember at Skylar and Jenny's property over in Omak, they built that big double, and Sink Mars was like one of the only people. I think Capes might have done it, Binkley might have done it, but there was only a handful of people that, it was pretty gnarly jump.
Ian was hitting it also.
Okay, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Were you there? Were you around?
I was there, I helped sort of set a lot of it up, actually set it all up. That was my first mission, to set up and try to get footage for Fox and the Hatchets.
Yeah. I was there a bunch of times. I don't know if I was there for that specific one, but I know I was there a bunch.
Yeah.
It was gnarly. Yeah, that's the one thing you do have to do. You have a lot of, I remember too, back in the day, you always had a camera. You do have a lot of footage, man. You got to, and some epic times, I'm sure, especially in your life. I mean, you got to do something with that stuff, dude. That's gold. It
was stuck on my hand the whole time, you know. I was running footage.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you
just got to figure out what route you want to go with it. But for sure, you gotta figure out something, because I'm sure that'd be fun to go through and watch and check out and do something with, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, probably just going to go through it and talk about it and throw it up. The ultimate would be, if I didn't have to have this job and all that, take the new off-road truck around to events, you know, go on new missions, get footage of, and do the blog thing, but tell old stories in the truck on the road and then back it up with the footage.
That's a good idea. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that a lot.
I would love for that to happen, and wrap the truck and sponsors and this, that, but that's a dream. It'd be cool if it could happen, but I'm lucky to have a job now, and things are good.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So, I mean, I definitely want to get into that. Maybe we'll wait a quick second, but what you're doing now with the truck, and you said you're doing some snow bike stuff, but like I say, we can maybe get into that in a minute. There was another from 2000 at the TEX Games. There was a kid there that I met. I kind of think it was the first time I met him. I think he was from your area, like maybe Bellingham or somewhere up in that area. He was a young kid, but he was super good he was like really flexible. He had some tricks, because in 2000, I mean, that was still kind of the beginning of freestyle, but I can't remember his name. Downing? No, it wasn't Downing. I know Downing.
Yeah.
It was a younger kid. I feel like I just saw.
Oh, yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Whatever happened to him? Do you remember his name? Was it Nick something, or?
Yeah, it's Nick Rush.
Nick. Yeah. You're close.
Ranson.
That's it. Yeah. Nick Ranson. That's it. Yeah. Do you ever know what happened to him? Like I said, I thought he was pretty good back then, but then I never kind of saw him ever again, or.
Yeah. I don't know what he's up to now. I kind of lost track of that guy, but he had him and his dad ran it was called the Little Dirt Bike Shop, and they sold accessories in Whatcom County style, and he had a little track in the yard. Used to go visit those guys and ride around a bit, but he ended up leaving with the winner of the wet t-shirt contest, and they were a couple for a long time.
That's hilarious.
I know, and he got worked. He got pretty cut up at the TEX Games. He crashed, I believe, once, and he got rashed up.
I think he crashed a few times, but he would go for it, and he had, like I said, pretty legit tricks most of the time. But he was a little sketch. But like I said, he was kind of a young kid at that time, and
real young, Yeah.
He was.
Do we know where Downing's at nowadays?
Yeah, have you talked?
No, I haven't talked to him in a while.
No,
he's around somewhere. has a job and a girl, and
Yeah.
I don't think he rides much.
No.
He showed up to a local track here in Glacier or Bellingham,
Hannigan?
and
Oh.
no, what's his name's backyard?
Mitch Merritt?
No, the pro rider at Hannigan, usually the fastest guy, and has a dirt bike shop
Boughton's?
also. Who?
Boughton's?
No.
No, it'll come to me in a minute.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about too, though.
Yeah, Crater. Where's your knowledge of
Yeah.
pros around here?
He's pretty good rider, and usually on it at Hannigan. And
Yeah, I was gonna say
travels around
he
a bit.
actually rips there, especially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Was his name Ryan
And,
Abrigo?
he
No.
rides off road too.
Hmm.
Hate that.
Yeah. Yeah, Downing was a really good rider. Like, he was a good freestyler, and he was a good, like, arena cross, whatever.
Yeah, I got him into the movies in the Terra Firma days.
And then he started
And,
doing
and
some
then-
contests, too. Like, he went into the contest scene for a while.
Yeah, I talked to him into doing some contests like the one they used to have in Oregon and at the Tacoma Dome also.
Yeah, the
Like in those
IFMA
early
things or
days.
whatever. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I still got some posters from those, too. Yeah, those
Yep.
were crazy times, man. It was the beginning of something pretty cool. And
Yeah.
to see where it's come so fast, it seems like,
Yeah, once they started flipping,
dude.
that
Yeah.
cut the field in half, huh?
Yeah, and then made the top half like even better and crazier. They're like, yeah, I can flip once, I can flip 4 times.
Yeah.
This is crazy, man. Yeah, 360s and everything else they're doing. I mean, yeah, Tom Pages or whatever, with his body varials and bike varials, and it's to a crazy level now.
And that guy doing the triple back.
Yeah, triple back. Yeah, the
That's
Australians.
That's a great movie, Unchained.
I don't know
Have
if
you
I've-
seen that?
I don't know if I've seen
It's
that.
on net. It's like on Netflix, Unchained.
Yeah.
I got some of my video shots are in there. I actually made the end credits. I was pretty pumped on that.
Heck yeah, I'll have to watch it. Netflix, Unchained, huh? Better write that down. My
Unchained.
memories.
It's called the Unchained, the Untold Freestyle Movie.
I will
something
watch
like
that.
It's super good. They do a really good job of it all. The
Going
whole
through the
history,
history?
everything.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I feel like I was there for a lot of the early history. Yeah, traveling around with. I got to be really good friends with Holman. That's why he was one of the first people we did. And yeah, going to a lot of.
He wasn't at Brocker's house, was he?
Whose?
Danny
Brocker,
Brocker.
yeah.
It is him.
Danny
Okay.
Brocker, that's who I was
Yeah.
trying to think of.
Crater comes in a half an hour later with a name. I'm like, what?
All right, it happens that way. Cool track though.
So
That place-
his tracks are awesome. He got shut down by the county.
yeah, he's been
I
fighting.
think
it for
he
all the
sneaks
time.
out there and rides it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And that sucks really bad. But he was putting his foot down and wasn't, willing to give the county money and jump through their hoops and all that.
Right.
It sucks because that is an awesome place to ride.
Well, it's been there forever.
Yeah.
Have you ridden it, Crater?
Yeah.
I think twice.
Yeah?
But both times was like there was the Agerdals, Dwayne Agerdal. He
Yeah.
owned it before. And he
Yeah.
had his kid raced intermediate kind of 98, 99-ish when I was. So I think I went up there once then, and I went up there once when it was Danny's.
Huh. Nice. But another Washington track shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to be a dirt biker. It's hard to be a dirt biker here.
Dude, it
It's-
is.
Yeah.
They shut everything down.
They tried to shut my backyard down
That
back in
doesn't
the
surprise
day
me.
also.
Yeah.
That doesn't
We
surprise
just-
me at all.
Yeah.
How'd you get
We,
out of it?
Well, I just I broke that leg, and then the next year I broke my hip, and so wasn't riding for a couple of years.
Yeah,
and,
so they kind of forgot about it, and then you're like, well, I'm riding again.
Yeah, a lot of bamboo was planted at the first TEX games that took off, and it put up a pretty good wall.
Oh, good,
where,
nice.
You really got to look to see it. And we slowly just started riding on weekends again when no county people were working.
Yep.
And we just
Yep.
slowly got it back, you know.
Yeah. Try not to ride super late or super early.
Signs all over my property.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to get their money some way.
That's right.
Yeah. You think they'd allow a full-blown TEX games ever back at your property, or would you even want to do one? Or again, you'd have to bust them out right after.
Yeah, I wanted to do one at Hannigan, but just
yeah, that'd be silly for it.
Yeah, it would have worked. I just didn't have enough sponsorship money up front to like give them the money they wanted to do it off the bat.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
that
anyhow.
sucks. Yeah.
But maybe someday get her going again. You never know.
Yeah.
I think it would be a big hit for sure, especially after all this stuff is over.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure you could still probably, get guys like Seth to come out and, well, I don't know how much he's riding these days, but.
Yeah, he's back doing construction.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, we did an interview with Capes last Monday. That's how he brought up your name a couple times, and that's why we were like, I had you on my list anyway, but he mentioned you, so we're like, let's see if we can do TEX next Monday. So it worked out. I'm glad. For sure. So what do you what's that?
Is Capes riding? Is Capes riding a little bit?
No, it doesn't sound like. Well, I mean, he said he was riding a little bit now again, but yeah, he kind of he hit the old heron a little hard for a couple years, I think. The last time I ran into him was literally at a methadone clinic. And, I think he was maybe even doing a little better than I was at that time because I was just kind of using it to whatever. But, yeah.
Everybody might have been doing better than you at that point.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah. So, but, hey, I finally found a good rehab and went to it and got through it all. So
good. Do you you ever watched Morrison's show? Scummy.
Yeah.
Twitch and Scummy.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll get him on here.
I like his show. He's it's pretty awesome actually what all he's done. I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's doing it. It was sad to see he had a little slip up recently, but hey, I understand. It is what it is. I mean, yeah, it's a rough road. So, especially
for dirt bikers, we get hurt.
Yeah,
we go to the hospital, and then well, we know the rest.
And again, like back in that era, they were handing out pills, fucking like they're Tic Tacs. I mean, it was nothing to go to the doctor and get a couple hundred 15s or whatever, and tolerance builds, and then it's just a problem before you know it. Yep. Thank God I'm out of that rut. Only took 12 years. I'm a fast learner.
Good on you.
Yeah.
Learner.
Yep. Yeah. I just got cut off the booze. Now all I got's my marijuana.
Right.
Jeez. Trying to kill me.
Down to Diet Coke now.
Yeah.
Man.
Can't do anything fun anymore. Fuck.
So what are you up to nowadays? Like, where are we here, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I figure we're in the mid-2000s or something. Yeah, we get off track sometimes.
Well, me and my wife got back together. We got divorced and was apart about 4 years or something.
I want to hear about the first wife, or the wife, the marriage story when you're on your way to a wedding and what happens. You're riding with your best man. You guys decide to take some Harleys out or something. You got white suit on, looking fresh to death.
We're at my house ready to go to the wedding.
Okay.
So me and another buddy's going to ride Harleys to the wedding, and then the rest of my boys are going to take a couple of trucks. So I got like my buddy D.L. Wood and Steve Graham with me, Jason Beaton, a couple of my homies from the town I grew up and went to high school with. And
nice.
So we're doing a smoke show out in front of the house. We got both Harleys just lit up and got an epic picture of it too. But a little smoke show. And it's like, we got to get out of here, man. We're late for the wedding. So we take off on the Harleys, and then part of her her cousins are with us too in another truck.
Okay.
So I got witness of all this happening. So we're running about 100 miles an hour coming on the on-ramp of the highway. And once you're coming up a hill, and then you get on the highway, and then you get vision of the traffic. Well, it's all stopped. It's backed up from a crash. And I got on the brakes enough where I didn't hit any cars. My buddy got on the brakes late. He went deep through the traffic in between the lanes of traffic of the cars and didn't hit anything. Well, that was a close one. Dang it. Now what? And then here comes this dog, this little terrier looking thing, running down the shoulder of the road, and an old lady chasing it. And so I decided to get off the Harley and help her catch the dog. And then it runs to the medium between the two different lanes of traffic. So I got traffic backed up where I'm at, but traffic moving at regular speed in the other lane coming my way.
Yeah.
The dog jumps up on the concrete divider.
Fuck.
And about the time I'm going to grab it, it jumps out towards the traffic. And I don't know what got into me, maybe because my dog just died that same week or something, sentimental for dogs, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
I jump after it like I'm catching a football in the end zone. And I grab the dog and land in this patch of grass right before the traffic.
Oh, God.
And I slide on the grass, and the dog ends up in my hands, but sort of by my face, and eats the end of my nose off. Like, bit the biggest chunk off. I slammed that dog I just slammed him on the ground, and he ran off. Someone caught him later. And my nose is spurting blood like Monty Python.
And he's on his way to his wedding in a white tuxedo, a white suit.
Yeah, I had a white shirt on, so now it's green from grass stains and full of blood. The cop runs up, and he throws me on the ground and puts a rag on my nose and claiming I have to lay here, and I'm claiming I'm late for my wedding, and he's telling me I'm not going to get married today, and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I hear more cars coming up the on-ramp and crashing into other cars. So now there's more crashes down the way, and he takes off running for that. My crew pulls up beside me. I got one buddy on the Harley to take it away. I got the rag on my nose, jump in the truck, and we take off through the grass to the service road. And I pull up in the parking lot, and there's like 100 people out in the parking lot wondering where I'm at. I'm like an hour late or something for the wedding. Change shirts, pour a bunch of super glue on my nose, throw a Band-Aid on it, and went and got her done.
That's a great story. Oh, man. On the wedding day. That's classic.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, I don't think they expected anything less, really.
Yeah, in true TEX fashion.
Yeah. I went ahead and got her done.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, yeah, her and I are back together, remarried, all that. We went to Hawaii
nice.
About 7 or 8 months ago. Got a house on this killer Point Break where we got to surf every single day and broke like a machine. Perfect.
Yeah.
You could see it from the house and all that. And, yeah, double said I do, and double rainbows popped out over our head, and most insane sunset ever. Yeah,
that's rad.
Pretty magical.
Hell yeah.
It was cool.
Did you do a lot of surfing back in the day? Are you a good surfer? Or?
No,
I
suck, and I can't even do it anymore now. My shoulders and wrists are so jacked. I
sucks getting old.
Can hardly paddle and actually get my hands to bend enough to push up to get to my feet, sort of deal. But there, the wave is so perfect and so mellow. Yeah. I was just taking a really big board where I didn't have to paddle that hard, and it took a day or two to find a way to pop up to my feet, but I got a handful of rides in.
Nice.
But
just a fun time.
Yeah, I had some moments. Yeah, it was good. Craig and Dano took me to the water and damn near killed me at Seaside a handful of times. Went out in water way too big over my head and thought, this is
scary.
It. I'm definitely,
that is terrifying to me.
Yeah.
When you're, the ocean's a motherfucker if you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, God, yeah.
So after that particular day, it was never that bad ever again. I'd never been worked that hard, and got my confidence back up. I actually went back to that wave and got worked again. And then went back the third time and started getting some rides out there. And I did a trip to Costa Rica, been to Hawaii a bunch, went to Mexico with the hatchets. That's where I really figured it out a bunch. But yeah, I got decent at it. Not much more than head and half high that I got into, and knew when to go and when not to go. That's important. But
Yeah.
missed it a bunch. I don't know what it's going to take. Electric surfboard or something.
I think they have those coming out.
Yeah.
Not far off.
That'll go well in Seaside, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. They'll respect that. I got a question for you. What's your favorite place you've ever snowboarded and your favorite place you've ever ridden? Or favorite trip or favorite story or whatever. One of the best times you've ever had snowboarding and dirt bike riding. What you got?
Well, it'd have to be Valdez and those
Yeah.
I don't know, I went like 5 years in a row, but the last year I was there, I think it was 96. I was there for almost 2 months, and it was good, stable snow every day and sunshine. And that's where I kind of got my best footage. And I put it all, I had an interview show on the Standard Snowboard TV show back when those things were on. It was on, what was that, Blue Torch?
Yep, Blue Torch TV. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And the Standard Snowboard show was on there, and they usually do 2 guys per show. They actually did just me for the entire show.
Cool.
And I finally put that on YouTube, so you can actually go and
check it
pretty
out.
much watch my whole story of what, kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, for
a
sure.
lot of it. But
That's good. That's good for people to know.
Yeah, that would be the best. And then there's a place in France called Le Grave.
Okay.
And I got to go there before it got blown up out of proportion with, people. It was pretty low key, but you get one tram and 7,000 vert. You actually start on a glacier.
Cool.
And then ride down to these cliffs and then get into the woods, but incredible spot. And you can ride to other villages and other towns and other ski areas.
How about your favorite mountain in the States? Baker or?
Nah, Baker's no good. I don't know why people even come here.
Yeah.
It's so blown out here.
Yeah.
But I still
Nobody
love it. You can pick your days and pick your lines and get it done, but you got to be crafty about it, and you got to know where to stick and move and how to cut in line and stuff like that.
When I was growing up, my parents took me a lot, like every year for midwinter break. We used to go up to Blackcomb, Blackcomb Whistler, but we always skied or snowboarded Blackcomb. I loved that place. I had so much fun there. That was like my home mountain. Like I said, I'd spend 2 weeks every year pretty much snowboarding every day, staying at. Yeah, that was good times. That was
the early up breakfast thing.
Yep, yeah, and then the mountain shuts down at like 2 or something. You go home, you take a nap, you eat some dinner, you go out. Yeah, it was great times. I was a little young for the whole go out part, but still go to it was a cool little village. Like back in the day, they used to have some like water slide, like turbo tube things. It was fun for a kid. That was back in the early stages of snowboarding as well. I don't remember what year I started, but I didn't quite get as good as you. Just saying.
Not anything.
Yeah. Wasn't quite at that level.
It's not over yet.
I know. I still got the dream, baby. Not letting it die.
Still got time.
Yeah.
It's the knees that are the real issue.
Yeah, the knee replacement's kind of a motherfucker, but so what about what's your favorite place you've ridden or place? You like the sand dune. I love the sand dunes. They were one of my favorite spots, but what was your favorite track or spot or filming session or did we lose him? Uh-oh.
I think we lost him again.
Restarting the router.
Damn it.
Power outage.
Come on back now.
He moved too much. Can't move.
Me?
Oh, no. I'm kidding. He's making funnies. Okay, so should we try this again or should we hang up? Let's see. Let's just.
Yeah. Try it again.
Try it again. He may,
Or
it's,
give him a minute. He's got to restart that router.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'll try him now. If not, I'll give him a second. But
Yeah.
he maybe.
Fine. Do whatever you want. You're the guy in charge here.
Yeah, I like that you don't have a mute button this time. It's pretty nice. He's probably...
Starting to get tired of no mute.
What'd you say?
I said I'm starting to get tired of this no mute.
Huh?
Huh? Would you mute me?
No.
Oh,
I could.
Oh, he's back.
No. Oh, he's gone still. Let's see. So, Gregory, how you doing in the Corona era? The Roners.
I got no Rona at my house. So far, so good. I heard my grandma has it though.
I know.
Yeah. So
Capes doesn't believe.
Might actually
Your grandma's a liar.
We'll see what Granny does here.
Capes would call her a liar.
Right.
It's false.
We'll see. It sounds like somebody walked into the old folks' home with it that she's at.
Uh-oh.
Gave it to everybody.
Wasn't a guy named rhymes with Schmeffrey Schnee, was it?
Right. You've been to Auburn lately, I'm sure.
Eh. Johnny's the one that likes the old folks' homes anyway.
Oh, I believe that.
Like some older ladies.
I believe that.
Believe. Well, how's it go? Achieve. Fucking.
I don't know. I didn't listen to them.
It's one of those like live, laugh, love things, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Conceive, believe, achieve.
Conceive.
I don't know. I don't remember what the other fucking one is. I'm just making shit up now.
Yeah, I believe that.
Sounds.
You gonna try him again here? How many minutes we gotta wait?
I don't know.
We need to ask him about his injuries.
Yeah, go over some injuries.
I mean, he's kind of talked about what he's done and whatever, but any accomplishments that stand out or something, or what he's doing now.
Yeah,
not really quite out there.
Yeah, he said
kind of did, but a little with the truck,
some truck stuff, and some snow bike stuff possibly.
Yeah, so got a few more things to ask him.
Have you ever ridden a snow bike there, Crater?
No, it's
Never?
too cold for me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the cold either, but
I'm sort of fair weather guy.
People seem to like them. I've seen
Holman
on once or twice.
It's funny though. Like I got buddies that are snowmobile guys, and some of them really like them, and some of them are like, nah, they're too slow. They got no power. But my understanding is that they do certain, like you can get into some tight tree stuff, and they're way better, and then they'll like side hill across anything.
I'm pretty sure we can talk to Haslam about him. I think he done it. I'd like to talk to Sayers about it. I'd love he has a fucking open invite to come on the show anytime. Oh, Tex is back. Hello,
He's
Tex.
back. All right.
We're back.
You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. We were just BSing amongst ourselves for a minute, but glad to have you back.
It's good to be back.
Good deal. So yeah, what was your favorite place to ride the old dirt bike?
Oh, dang, Luna Mesa, Canesville, Utah is the best place ever in the world to ride a dirt bike.
I believe that. I've never been there.
Yeah, we got there early too. I think that would be maybe we're the first guys to ever film that in terra firma.
Yeah,
I believe that.
Who was all there?
Unless Godfrey got to it before we did or something. I know that's his neck of the woods.
Yeah.
But that place is off the hook, man. Went there with Sinkmars and McGavern and Dusty Walters, I think was our 4-pack of riders.
Nice.
And Mike Hatchett on camera and maybe Van Every on camera too. And yeah, we went in the off season, so it's a ghost town. There's nobody there.
Beautiful.
And the hotel we stayed at had an empty swimming pool. That was perfect, kidney. I mean, it was perfect. There's a little bit of water in there, so I asked the guy that owned the place if we could bucket that water out and ride our skateboards in the swimming pool.
Yeah.
And they were so happy just to have someone there because when it's off season, there's nobody there at all.
It's a ghost town.
They go, Yeah, we'll clean it out for you as long as you just don't leave. You know, I go, we'll be here almost a week. Those guys got a gasoline pump for us, pumped it out, and used hotel towels to wipe down the walls. And you know how dry it is in Utah. They brought us lights. We were skating, and I got footage of this too.
That's rad.
This is what's so funny. Yeah, like I was the only skater, but there were these mountain bike geeks, to be honest with you. They're filming Canesville, so they were walking up those those clay hills and getting these shots that I'm sure look great on video, but it's nothing to ride a mountain bike down those things.
Right.
And
it is something to walk a mountain bike up them. Fuck that.
Yeah. And then we're just riding all around them on our dirt bikes,
just
making them
twisting the throttle.
Yeah. And one of the guys in the video shoot was one of my guides from Alaska. We called him Sarge. And I can't think of his name right now, but I let him ride my dirt bike, and he was all pumped. And they came by our hotel, and so Sinkmars and McGavran were taking their mountain bikes. You know, they asked them if they could borrow them, and they were carving the walls in the swimming pool. They were airing off the side of the pool and landing on a tiny bit of tranny going into the deep end, and then just carving the bikes way up by the tile and the coping. And so this one mountain bike guy, and I got this on video, I feel bad for him, but he's got those clip-in feet, right? That clips into your pedals. And he tried to go up the wall and carve it, and he didn't lean over properly. He was just sitting straight up, right? So his wheels slipped out from underneath him, and he slammed the side of his head so hard
he couldn't get his feet out.
He's still connected to the bike, right? So he unclips, right? And he's trying to push the bike out of the deep end, and with those clipper pedals, he slipped again and smashed his face on the bottom of the swimming pool.
Tell me you have this on video.
All you hear is Sinkmars in the background going, ha, 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 look, pro mountain biker goes down. Ha, ha,
ha. That's what I'd be doing too.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's hilarious. You have that on video or no?
No, I do. I have it on clip.
Oh, my God, that is great.
And all that mess of footage I have.
Yeah, somewhere in the dude, that table was packed with videos, man. That's awesome. I like to see that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That made me laugh so hard.
I got a fun way to get them off of that and onto whatever, a hard drive. I need to learn how to edit because now I know people that'll do it, but they're so busy with people paying them money.
Yeah.
I got to figure out a way to just do it myself.
I'm learning with you, Tex. That's things I need to work on in my life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to learn some of this young kid stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be epic to dump down the shots you want and put them in order and then stick them together.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, get it all just nice and laid
out. Because I've always been good at getting the footage, but then – you know, and I've sold a bunch of it. You know, I pick out shots that someone might be interested in. So, got a lot of it to the Hatchets and a handful of it to the Krusty guys. And then that one dude, you remember that one dude up in Canada that made those movies Appetite for Destruction?
Yeah.
His name was Jesse. A lot of that footage is mine and a lot of his movies. Just random.
Nice.
Whatevers.
He would just buy footage off you? Yeah. That's cool.
He got my footage, was so stoked on it. He bought me this camera back in the day and just sent it to me.
Oh, cool.
And sent me a bunch of tapes and said, just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly. Here's some better equipment. Keep doing what you're doing. Only with this better equipment.
Yeah.
Nice. That's cool. So what are you up to these days? You're doing something with the truck or trying to or?
Yeah, well I'm a working man now, and me and my wife Christy, we run the Mount Baker Rim, which is pretty much a gated community, with a swimming pool and tennis courts and all that stuff. So I do the grounds and maintenance and kind of run that. Got a couple of dudes underneath me, and then we got to plow it when it snows and sand it and da da da. And then she runs the office. and all that part of it, and
Cool.
the memberships and the dues and the blah blah blah.
Yep.
Yeah, got a new truck, which was a great adventure. I've been wanting an off-road truck for like forever, and I got a couple of T100s, and I was thinking I could use those and build a truck. You could jump and have fun with, put a roll cage in it. And I just remembered that back in the day, Dana from Krusty had a T100 done up. So I gave him a call. Haven't talked to him in years. Told him I want a truck. I got these T100s. He's like, don't go that route. They're underpowered, and they don't make kits for them. Everything on a truck like that needs to be manufactured by an off-road guy that knows what he's doing. He said to go get a Tundra, between 2005 to 2010, something like that, with a 5.7 motor, and look for a camber off-road suspension kit maybe on it, and told me what classified ads to go look at on this race desert. So all they got is race truck, pre-runners and stuff. And that was the first truck that popped up. So I got me like a daily driver with an incredible suspension on it. And that's been a lot of fun. Hard to hang on the handlebars for very long before my hands go numb these days. But yeah, and then we got a snow bike too. And this is my second year on that one. It's awesome.
Yeah, you like it?
They're still progressing, and they still got a little ways to go. They're sort of underpowered unless you throw a turbo on it and a bunch of technical equipment.
What kind of bike do you have? What is it?
It's a 2016 CRF 450.
Nice.
And then with a 2016 Timber Sled long travel kit on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fun.
It's fun, but here at Baker, you got to ride so far away from the truck before you even get into the Alpine.
Really?
You go down these gnarly roads that are sometimes it's snow, sometimes it's dirt, sometimes it's gravel. You got to put these little wheels on and take them off, and and you got engine covers. You got to have a temperature gauge, and if it gets too hot, you got to roll down your engine cover. If it gets too cold, you got to put it up, because if it's too cold and not running at the right temperature, the fuel won't burn, and it'll overflow into your transmission. And ruin your transmission fluid. It'll come out looking like Pepto-Bismol kind of deal. But you figure out there's all these little gadgets. You gotta beef up your front suspension like you would not believe. I had to get rid of those shocks because in that year they're air and oil only, no spring. So I had to ditch those forks. I got some forks from Mitch Merritt that would adapt a spring. So therefore went and bought a custom spring out of Oklahoma City. 8-point something, and may still have to go to some air assistance up front also. But if you're nose heavy on a landing, all that extra weight on that snow bike just compresses the front forks way more than normal. Yeah. So I did that between last year and this year, made a bunch of changes in it, and I've only gotten it out twice this year so far, but yeah, much better. It's a lot of fun, and it's super easy too compared to a sled.
Yeah.
To a snowmobile.
What's the season like on that thing? Like when can you? I mean, can you ride year round? Can you ride what? What's the?
Well, whenever there's snow,
just you can kind of go whatever.
You can ride. Yeah.
Nice.
Get in the tighter spots than sleds. So I got some places where they can't go that I can. And then there's hill climbs that I can't do, but you can zigzag your way up it slowly.
Okay.
And get to the same altitude as the sleds, sort of deal. But like I say, you're just so far away. And then I finally got my temperature thing under control a little bit, but those first few runs, it was overheating a bunch.
Yeah, that sounds like a pain in the ass.
So you're nervous about even getting back home. You're so far away.
Or ruining your bike.
It's hard to loosen up and start jumping things.
Enjoying it,
having fun.
Yeah.
But kind of loosen up when we're heading back, and we're stopping at some terrain that looks fun. So I was doing hill climbs and getting on top of a small cornice and airing off, about 20 or 30 feet kind of deal. But
do you got some buddies that have them too, or you just?
I got only one buddy that has one.
Yeah.
And he's like on the other side of the mountain on Highway 20.
Oh.
And I think he's been like busy, hard to get a hold of, whatever. Yeah. But I need him back over here so the two of us can take care of business.
Heck
sure.
yeah. Or talk Goodwill into getting one. That seems like something he'd like to do.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
His work, but because this whole virus thing, he's not working right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kind of shut down. He's in Everett,
Yeah.
So crazy times with that. And so we got people coming up here snowmobiling.
Yep.
But they're like two in a truck together with two sleds. And then all the locals here, even normally without the virus, they take their own truck and own sled. And it's easier that way. And then these guys are traveling from Seattle and wherever.
Yeah.
But they're all doubled up and stuff. And then, they got hurt. One guy got lost. So now there's a rescue. And now that's bringing attention to our backyard.
Yeah.
But it's weird times,
It is
weird
for sure. For sure. Hopefully this all gets done and over with as quick as it came, I suppose.
Yeah. Gotta get on the program.
For sure.
There's a few people out there that are not on the program.
There's a lot of people out there not on the program.
Yeah.
I'm usually that guy. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want. But dude, it's just gnarly.
Yeah.
It needs to be over sooner than later.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not trying to catch nothing that I don't already got.
All I can.
Yeah.
I see you got your bandana ready.
He's ready.
I'm masking up, dude. I'm just ready for robberies, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone looks like
I know.
they're about
It's
to
just,
rob something.
Yeah. It's the purge, dude. We're just coming in. There's no video of me. I'm masked up. I got some gloves I can wear so we cover up the hands. No prints, no show tats.
Yep. I got my spray bottle, and if you get too close to me, you're going to get sprayed. That's what
You better have goggles on.
I just spray you. Yeah.
I got goggles. I got glasses. I got some sunglasses. I wear my sunglasses. I'll stop. So are you hoping to race this truck, or what are you going to do with it? What do you want to do? What's the goals?
Oh yeah, we'll see.
I liked your idea from earlier. I really liked that.
Yeah. We'll see. I had to fix a bunch of things on it to make it ready for the Northwest because it didn't have fender wells and mud flaps. And so when you're driving up the Mount Baker Highway, they put so much salt and sand and I don't know what else on the road, but it just destroyed my truck seriously 5 runs up the mountain, dude. Everything's rust. All my Fox shocks are covered in rust.
Ugh.
I had to put that thing in the air, and I grinded with a wire wheel on that truck for 3 days.
Jesus.
And then I got some rust-proof paint and painted everything back and got off what I could. And then I took some plastic and we molded and made some wheel wells so I could contain all that salt and water, so it'll stay in the wheel wells.
Yeah. Instead of blasting your shocks apart.
Yeah. And things like that. And then it took on a little bit of damage in the sand dunes kind of deal. So I guess what I'd really like to see is to get a cage in the inside in case something happens. But right now it kind of keeps me on the no cage level.
Is there any truck series around here?
I saw one the other day coming up, and we were waving at each other like crazy because this is the only other truck with fiberglass on it that I've ever seen.
He's got one.
Around.
He's got an Crater has one. He's got a F-150, or what year is that thing?
Yeah, I have a 90 F-150 with a
fiberglass.
It's all McNeil off road. He's south of San Diego down there in the desert. and he kind of custom made all of it. And it's so it's an I-beam truck, but it's man, I think it's strapped like 18 inches in the front and 28 or something in the back, and we put an LS and motor in it, and
wow,
it rips when it's done. But I never put a cage in it. So
yeah, it's got no cage either. It's a cool ass truck though. It's legit.
It's a cool truck, but it's a death trap right now. You got to be on the no cage level. That's it.
Yeah, where's the truck at? Is it in San Diego now?
No, it's right outside his house.
30 feet away out my door.
It's in Renton.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Like I might.
What year is it?
You can't see the start. It's a 90 F-150, but like the fiberglass makes it look like a 06 or something, Front end.
You have to send me a picture of it.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, there's actually a bunch on my Facebook. I think I could find one.
Yeah.
There's a video on the internet somewhere of me jumping at Smale's house over like a 40-foot double, and it's like,
damn.
I went like 60 because I'm not even close to landing, and it nosed in.
Just coming in hot.
Terrible experience. Like if like the frame rails touched the ground before anything else in the front.
Holy shit.
It should have endoed, and it would have killed me and my buddy that were sitting in it. Like I say, no cage. We had harnesses, but no cage. Like we'd have been crushed.
Oh man.
No bueno.
Bugs. Less than that. That was not no cage level.
Dang. Yeah, they fly nose heavy, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. The engine weighs a lot.
Yeah.
So mine has those hooks where that hook to your foot pegs and sack the whole suspension down in the back of your truck. Have you seen those? They're like they're levers, so you get two per bike, and they.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
So my truck can hold. That's what I took. It's that truck and my bike sacked out on the back of the truck, and so like as long as you're not hitting whoops sideways, and as long as the truck's going straight, that bike will not fall over or come out.
Oh, that's good.
So it might be a way to have some extra weight.
Yeah, right. I could just I figured 2 spare tires hanging out the back would probably be better than the 0 that I had in it at this point. So
yeah,
I got work to do. It needs a cage, and like I said, my buddy that we built it together, we're gonna just kill the firewall, pull the motor back a foot, make a new tunnel. We got work to do. But
dang.
Try to shift some weight around.
For now, probably.
You could just put a seat. You put a seat in the back and have Johnny ride back there.
What's that?
Put a seat in the back and have Johnny ride back there.
Yeah, right.
He's a fat fuck.
No, when my son gets a little older, I think he'll be into it, and it'll keep me from having to take him racing. So we'll go build a truck instead.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
there's none of those
is it
like
a crew cab or 4-door or
no, it's a single cab long bed pickup.
Oh wow.
That's one thing. When I do the motor and stuff, I'd like to actually get like a crew cab and a short bed.
Yeah.
Or a crew cab and then put fiberglass rails on it.
I like that idea.
So
yeah. So like when I flew to LA to get the truck. It's a Tundra 2010.
Yep.
And Dana helped me find it. So the dude with the truck picked me up, took me to Huntington Beach, and just by coincidence, they were having a fundraiser at Huntington Beach, Toyota, for Toys for Tots.
Yeah.
And they had the Southern California Pre-Runner Club down there. So they had a bunch of pre-runners in the parking lot. Got to pull up in the new truck. Dana had his trophy truck for display and was signing autographs and stuff.
Nice.
And spent the night with Dee, and we got up in the morning and took electric cruiser bikes, and we went to a whole bunch of spots where they filmed, different spots where they did Bubba skits and Ghost Road bikes, stuff just right close to his house, because there's an oil field there right before the beach, and these kind of cliffs and stuff where they've launched some bikes and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So I got a history lesson there, and then had some coffee, and surf was good, but I had to keep moving. I was short on time, and then
long on miles, short on time.
Took me back to LA and made the deal on the truck and took off driving home. Drove took a day or two to get home. Went straight to Pismo, actually, make sure it would jump.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got pulled over. I think I got pulled over 4 times in 2 hours.
Shut up. What were you doing?
But,
Driving down the highway.
I was speeding on the beach and hitting little jumps on the beach, but I didn't want to. It was dark by the time I got there, and I know they have those round sinkholes at Pismo.
Oh, yeah.
I remember back in the day. So easy to get stuck, so I didn't want to go out at night. So actually spent the night there and hit it up the next day, and then pinned at the Coos Bay and got a few hour session in the truck there.
Nice.
And yeah, brought her on home.
Sounds fun.
That's awesome.
Sounds like an
drive
epic
it,
trick.
have fun with it in the desert, and then get back on the highway and just drive home. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That says something for that truck.
Yeah, that thing's fun. It's trip how they handle. I mean, even just driving on pavement is fun.
Right.
Just every day. I don't know how I could ever go back to another truck that doesn't have a long travel suspension on it, because you're just floating like on air.
It
right?
just soaks everything up.
Yeah.
You just run over curbs and you don't even feel it.
Cadillac feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to drive them too. I mean, mine's kind of grabby and catchy and real. Is yours like that?
Yeah, a little bit. Like they're towy kind of, and they hooked it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it gets light and rolls, and
Yeah. You don't really drive with your knee and eat anymore.
yeah.
A little more
you have to
focused.
drive.
Mine doesn't go
rolling,
that smooth.
You're not rolling them up and driving with your knee so much anymore.
No, you're gonna be. Yeah, you got to be holding on to the steering wheel and paying attention a little more for sure.
Yeah, it feels a little loose, if I remember right, your truck.
A little loose for
It's a
sure.
little loose.
Yeah,
I love
that's the other thing. You got to do the steering a little bit. We got to get, like they call it, swing set steering, and it gets rid of that. It gets rid of the stock kind of standard setup, and it tightens everything up. It's all Heim joints, and everything's better, and you get more travel out of the front end that way too, I think.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Are your front wheels straight up and down, or are they bent in a little bit, like angled in? Where they wear the inside of you?
They're pretty vertical when you're driving around at ride height, but I mean, obviously
Yeah.
when they drop out, they get pretty like tucked. I mean, they're not,
Yeah.
they're not vertical there.
Yeah,
Mine are a little angled, and I don't know if it's supposed. The guy told me they're supposed to be like that, but it
Well, I think
sure
they're
wears
better
down.
that way.
What's that?
I think they're better in the dirt that way.
Yeah,
So that's the
But
whole
they
thing.
yeah. They
but
wear
if you're
out
driving it on
faster
the pavement a
you.
lot, yeah.
You're gonna have no edge left in a hurry.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Age comes to cage. We better get a cage going.
That's right. I got to get a cage going.
Yeah.
I got a
Dude,
couple
that's-
buddies that are into that fab business a little bit and weld and do it, so it's got to pay them at some point.
Yeah, I might have to get that number from you.
Yeah.
I was asking, is there any series around here that, like, I know in Southern California they have, but there's nothing like that. They don't have a track at SIR or
They
whatever.
tried a few years ago.
Hannigan
Joe
doesn't do it.
Lancaster tried to put something together,
Yeah.
and I think it was kind of an Oregon deal. Maybe Washougal even had a little deal where they were doing side-by-sides in the field, and they might have had a truck class too, but
Yeah. That'd
Man,
be
there's
cool.
not-
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That sugar would be insane.
right?
Yeah.
Out in the field
That'd
where the party was, out in the field, man, they ran a track out there, and then just in that natural, hilly, it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Be fun.
man,
That would be fun.
I wonder. It'd be cool to get something going like that at Hannigan.
Or even, I'm
Yeah.
surprised they don't have it. Have you ever been up to that Dirt Fish Rally School? Like, I mean, there's not really any big jumps or anything, but it's pretty cool. They have a pretty cool course up there. They had one of those, like a national for the global rallycross where they're like Deegan, Pastrana, all those guys were there. Yeah, it was legit. I went. It was pretty crazy. Tanner Faust, all those guys.
Well, they have one in Capital Forest too.
They
Or
what?
They used to. In Capital Forest, they used to do one there too.
Yeah. We need to get these things. We need to get these trucks out. Sounds like.
Right.
Tex, we need to build something at your house.
Yeah, you got the facility for it right there.
How much property you got? How many trees do we need to cut down? We got some logging to do.
Always. Too many trees around here.
Kill some trees. All right, buddy. Well, we'll wrap it up. It was great to talk. You got anything else you want to do? Any plugs you want to talk about, or anybody you want to thank, or anybody, whatever? You got anything else to say, or?
Man, I'd just like to see everyone make a good effort on washing your hands, and getting over this thing, like more than anything.
Yeah, hygiene is a
Keep your
bonus.
distance, wash your hands, and carry your bottle of alcohol around and spray everything down you touch.
The doctor told me I couldn't anymore. That's why my pancreas failed. The other different bottle of alcohol. I see.
Yeah, the sanitizer.
Okay, I'm with you.
The spray bottle.
All right, I got it.
Spray bottle, yeah.
I don't want to get you back on the bottle.
No, I can't. Doc said no more. No bueno. No bueno.
That's like voluntary off the bottle.
Yeah, hey, I don't want to be in the pain I was in fucking 2 weeks ago. I know that. That sucks.
There you go. Well, cool, man. It was good to talk to you, having never actually talked to you. It was awesome to meet you.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting a hold of me and making this happen.
For sure, it was fun. Just go over your career a little bit, get the let the people know. Like I said, I'll let you know too when we actually get this thing live and up and going. And I'll probably post some of these pictures on our Instagram or whatever of your property, kind of stuff we talked about, so people can kind of go look at, like, oh, that's Tex, that's his, try to get some of those in so they have some form of reference too on what we were talking about. And appreciate it. Thank you for it was kind of short notice, but thanks. Definitely not 7 a.m.
That would have been tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it. All right, buddy. We appreciate it a ton. I'm glad to see you're doing good. And, hope life continues to be great for you and big things in the future. And, let's get these trucks out. Or maybe me and Crater up to Texas House one of these days and watch you guys ride some dirt bikes. And maybe I'll try to teach you kids a thing or two.
I got a truck jump too that works really well.
There we go.
I want to fix the backyard so it's more truck friendly and
don't tempt us with a good time.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll be in touch.
All right. Yeah. Stay in touch. Thanks, you guys.
Cheers. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers.